Okay, let's play some video game. I did not mean to hit block one, but it's fine. I was thinking suspicions I did something. So, side story is what I want. Pressing buttons is hard. Okay, I did not do something silly last time. So at least there's that. What's my base ATA at? 78? That's enough for me to switch weapons. There we go. I now have a cane and a gun that are both decent. So we are prepared now to defeat our enemies. Kind of. There'll be some defeating of enemies going on at least. Oh, hey, Zonde. Sure, I'll take level 2 Zonde. Sounds good. I don't even know if I know level 1 Zonde on this character, but I know level 2 now, and that's all that matters. I don't know how I feel about the way techniques level up in this game. Like, I don't super mind. Like, I don't think it's bad. I'm just not sure that I actually like it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, explicitly think that it's a bad thing. I don't know. Should I be casting unarmed on this one? I don't remember. Let me try. Here's that. Then it looks like it might be a bit faster. So I'll remember that for later. Oh, it got up so I thought it was close enough that it wouldn't do that. Oops. I did it. Another wonderful day of just shooting Ragrappies. It is wild how long going through these quests takes. Haha, idiot. Perish. Silly Booma. Thought I wouldn't just murder it. I'm mostly using spells, not because I actually care enough, but because I don't want to run into Mono Fluid and not be able to pick it up. It makes me feel inefficient when that happens. Anyway, so it's another chill day. That is not the exit I want to take first. We want to go talk to the guy first, so that way we can pick up stuff. And, you know, grab some Aceta on the way, because why not? Nom some anti-paralysis. Hello. It is I. Yeah, I'll get your capsules for you. Hit him with the just walk up and go. Hello there. It is I. Here to get your capsules. Give me your tiny I will give you your tiny containers, human. and you will give me your soul. Or go home. Either is fine. The forest music is so peaceful. Like everything is good. I feel like the gun animation is slower for her, and I don't like that. Like it feels slower. I don't know what. I don't know if. I don't think it actually is. I think it's just something about the animation that I just don't like. I think it's because it feels like she's doing so much more recoil than the other animations. And it's like, put some strength into that hold so you're not having to reset your entire aim after every shot. Like, you know, at least try to prevent recoil. Make a justifiable attempt, at least. I wonder, am I pressing the button slower because she's... Maybe. That's something interesting I found out about myself. I pay attention a lot without realizing it to visual animations, and I will do the next thing when I feel like the animation is done. And that's like not something I realized that I consciously did until I caught myself in a game going like, man, why is it so long between why do you have to wait so long between attacks? And one of my friends was like, you don't? And I was like, what do you mean? The animation's not done. It also explains why I've never really clicked with characters in games that rely on animation canceling. And I think it's funny because in some games it doesn't bother me at all. Like Final Fantasy 14, you're canceling your own animations, or not doing the full animation like pretty frequently for a lot of things. Like you often don't wait for the end of the animation before you're pressing the button to do the next thing. And then there are games where I'm like, nah, I gotta wait. I gotta wait. That animation doesn't look finished yet. And I don't know why my brain does that. It does it very stubbornly too. Like that's the hard part, is that my brain is super stubborn about it. Like it's like it's like you have to wait, and I'm like, why do I have to? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, and I don't know why I do that, or importantly, how to prevent it other than to just know that I do that sometimes, and therefore examine if I'm waiting too long to press a button because my brain says the animation isn't over yet. Oh boy, capsule obtained. Rappy slaughtered. Okay. If you say so, game. Yeah, I do not like the gun shoot animation for Bomarl. Don't like that animation. It's just so much recoil from this little handgun. It's so much. It feels like more recoil than on the others. I'm gonna compare it to the other characters and see if like I'm just for some reason paying more attention to the recoil today, or if it really is much more recoil as it feels like. Like she's definitely moving her head more than other characters do. Like she's treating it more like a full body recoil. Like everything's moving. She's like Like, she looks like this gun's about to knock her on her ass. It is slower. I'm glad it's not just me then. That's a wild thing to have different between classes. How fast they can fire the same weapon. Like, that's wild. That is not something I would think could be different. So it's not something I would think to check when playing a game. Like, I would never think to check that. Walk over here and shoot some boxes. It's annoying me. I'm going back to defaulting to the cane. Okay, onward we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Badoop. I'm not really curious if there's other differences like that I just didn't notice in this game because I was never looking for them. Like, the majority of my playtime in this game has just been on a Humar and a Faux Noir. So, like, no, not Faux Noir, Faux Newman. So, like, a large part of my time playing this game, like, I just wouldn't have... I didn't think to check for that between those two, and, like, it's not like I played on a lot of different classes. Until I started doing this silly little challenge. Hello? There we go. Like, the sparkle disappeared, but the game was like, you didn't pick that up. Feed one anti-paralysis, and then I will feed more. Once I deliver the stuff to this stupid guy so he will go back. I do think it's really funny that this guy is here to tell you that even when the whole planet gets destroyed, you can't escape capitalists. He's not that we haven't even safely landed on the planet yet, and he's like, gotta start building capital. That land is mine. Like, chill, dude. Calm down, you greedy jerk. Like, we have other things to worry about. You don't have to check for hit anymore now that I'm not on the yellow bows. Still gotta check for slots though. Oh, hey, Barda. I have successfully fed my mag. Check the shop for an amount of those that matters. I don't actually know if I didn't pick up a barrier or if I just didn't equip it. We still don't have a barrier at the end of the day, but it's not like it matters. Just don't get hit and it won't matter. Don't need evasion if they never have a chance to hit you. Another quest complete, nice and fast. On to the next. There are still many quests to do. Let's go ahead and get the value of money out of the way. There are some quests that I would be very happy if they didn't toss me all the way back to the lobby over. And by some quests, I mean one quest. It's this one. I actually just generally wish it wasn't always tossing me back to the lobby. And just let me go back to the lobby between quests when I needed to. I'm sure there's a reason somewhere on the technical side when they were making it for why it does that. I just think it's bad and dumb, and they should have prioritized making it a better playing experience. Although I suppose it probably does make the lobby more alive, which, come to think of it, might be needed because of the way multiplayer works in this. Nah, I stand by what I said. I just walked right past him. I should check the shops, though. Check for spells. And for slots. I could get a barrier, but too much work. I don't know why I'm still checking the weapon shop. It's not gonna have any hit weapons, and that's all I really care about from a regular weapon shop. Yeah, give me that cash money. Yeah. Okay. I went to go look up stuff about Fomarl's attack animations and was disappointed with the results. By which I mean I got novels and I'm like, man, that's more than I needed right now. I'll read that later, probably. I forgot to actually start a specific quest. Whoops. Okay. Down to Ragul. The talking is hard. Down to Raish Al Ghul we go. Just like say a completely different word that I also butcher. Like really get some inception going on bad pronunciation. I feel like as I've gotten older, it's gotten harder to correct my pronunciation on things, and I'm not sure what that's about. I mean, I guess it's probably just, you know, they say that you learn easier when you're younger. It's probably mostly that. Still sucks though. Like, I used to be able to like fix my pronunciation on things in like a day. And now it's like, man, I gotta actually pay attention, or I will just say words the way I read them the first time I saw them. And like, that's not great. So, yeah. It's one of those things, like, I don't know why that takes so much work for me. Onward we go, though. I need a topic to ramble about. I didn't have one, like, in my head already when I hit the stream button of something I could just talk about for an hour. Level 5 obtained. So while we run around, I'm gonna talk about a game that I'm going to be streaming very soon that came out today. I cannot wait to play Astrobot. And it really is just like some people are like, man, they really just released a game that would have been made for the PS2, and I'm over here like, yes, exactly. A lot of the things that I like about it are things that weirdly disappeared from games after that era, but that weren't bad things. Like, you know, sometimes things that disappeared from games as games got better were bad things, but like, I'll be honest, I don't know why. I don't know or understand why so many game companies stopped making good 3D platformers outside of Nintendo. Everybody else just kind of stopped trying to make 3D platformers. And I don't know what that was about, because every 3D platformer before that sold well. Like, to my knowledge, like I don't recall one that I'd heard about that did poorly or was bad that was in that era of gaming. Some of the attempts to revive that era of gaming went pretty poorly. But like, back in the heyday of 3D platformers, I don't remember any that were bad or that had worse sales. Obviously Nintendo's always sold well, but like, that's Nintendo. But like, the last one of the game of that kind I really remember being released is like Jak and Daxter, right? I was a kid, so I'm a little hazy on release dates for games around that time, so I don't know that that one was like the last one. It was the last one I played of that style of game. Oh, I forgot to actually use the Barda I got. 1 second. There we go. Now perish. Goodbye. But anyway, so like, there's a lot of games from that era, and then there's a huge gap in non Nintendo titles that just did 3D platforming at all, except for like a few like let's bring the genre back kind of titles that did poorly because they were bad games. Like Balan Wonderworld was a bad 3D platformer. Like, it didn't do poorly because 3D platformers are bad. It did poorly because it was a bad 3D platformer. And like, it wasn't close to being good either. Like, it was pretty like, it didn't feel good to play. And that's all a 3D platformer is about. And I think Astrobot, both the version that like the Astrobot game that released for as like the PS5 showcase for what the controller could do, that just came with like the PS5, and this game really show that all you need for a 3D platformer is some charming characters. Astrobot does it by them being cute little robots. Jak and Daxter did it by having these super cute animations between Jak and his best friend Daxter. Like, you just need a charming character. Obviously Mario does it by being Mario and by having charming sidekicks, like Cappy and stuff like that. Like, you need a charming side character. You need a charming character to be the mascot, and then it needs to be fun to move around in, and that's all a 3D platformer needs. Like, that's it. It is not a very complicated formula, right? And it's just weird that that we saw it just be so abandoned. Like, I can't think of one for the PS3. Like, I can't think of a game in the genre for the PS3 that was released at all. I'm not saying there like definitely wasn't one, but like, this is my favorite genre of gaming. If it doesn't reach me, your marketing failed. You know, because like, I am the target audience of any 3D platformer or Collectathon. Like the only major title of it that I haven't played is Banjo-Kazooie. And I was explicitly not allowed to play that one by my parents when I was a kid. And like that's the only major game in the genre I have not played. And it's like, so if I haven't heard of your game and it's in that genre, your marketing has failed. Especially if it had any kind of budget. Like, as case in point, I heard about Astrobot, that's for sure. I heard about Hat in Time, and I went and played Hat in Time shortly after I heard about it. It was great. I do recommend. But it's just one of those genres where, like, sometimes you can see why a genre disappeared, right? Because a specific company that kind of carried that genre went under, or because that genre had a bunch of flops in a row, so people stopped making that kind of game, assuming that there just wasn't as much market for it as there used to be. And all of those are, like, I feel pretty valid. Like, it happens. Even if they turn out to be wrong, that there is still a market for that game, I could see what would make that kind of game look riskier. But every 3D collectathon printed money. Like, for example, like, I don't necessarily blame Naughty Dog for not making more Jak and Daxter games, because Lost Frontiers did poorly when they outsourced to someone else, and while Jak X Combat Racing is a good game, it didn't sell well, or at least I didn't know anyone else who had it. So like, I don't blame them for being like, oh, I guess this just isn't going to work out, and going somewhere different with it. Especially considering just how popular Uncharted 1 was. Like, they tried a different IP and it took off, and they just ran with it, and like, that's completely understandable. Like, no shade to them for that. I can follow a business line where I understand why there were no more Jak and Daxter games. What I don't understand is why big companies just didn't make any more games of that type. Like, this was a very well-known, popular genre, and it just disappeared for like 2 consoles out of nowhere, and seemingly for just no apparent reason. Like, I'm honestly so confused by it even now, of why it just disappeared and took so long. Like, I feel like I have to be missing information, but like, I don't remember any other big games that came out that were in the genre and didn't do well. You know? And it's not like there was another genre competing with it. Like, take for example, I wouldn't really be surprised that there aren't very many Doom clones made anymore, because the better ways of making a first-person shooter replaced it, because they had clear, you know, it got replaced by something that was clearly for most people a superior genre that gave a similar thing, but in a way that most people liked better. But like, what happened to collectathons? They just disappeared. And not just collectathons, but like 3D platformers as a whole. Like, Nintendo was the only one making them after that. And I guess technically Sonic, but Sonic, I would say, is a different genre. Like, they share similar elements, they are not the same genre, you know? Sonic is not what I think of when I think of 3D platformer, in the same way Portal is not what I think of when I think of first-person shooter. There's elements shared, yes, but that's not what I mean. Like, I can see how a literal definition would lead you to believe that it should be included, but it really shouldn't. But yeah, I just don't get it, especially since, like I said, there were successful ones being done by Nintendo all the time. Not all the time, like every 3 to 4 years or so, a little bit less often than that. But like, it's just super weird how that just disappeared. It's also nice to see Astrobots really reminding everyone that one of the best things that you can do for your game is have a cute aesthetic for like the main character. Astrobot is pretty high res because, you know, it was made as a tech demo. So, you know, it's as high res as it could be. But like, it does exemplify this general idea of, you could have had the graphics be half as good and these cute little robots with their silly animations still would have ate the world. That would have been it. They got him. That was all that was needed, was them being cute and it being fun to move around. But yeah, there were some weird things going on in the gaming sphere around the PS3. That's also when we really started seeing like the dev time for games either go way up, or in the case of the Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty games, way down for some reason. Which definitely wasn't them making poor quality products over time and or making their employees work too hard. No, couldn't be. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I feel like I had to have missed information. I will say, though, 3D platformers, my favorite genre. I cannot wait to play Astrobot. I will be doing it soon. I'm just currently hyperfixated on this, but it will be my next hyperfixation. Gaming-wise, almost certainly. There may be a hyperfixation in the middle there that's like a programming or otherwise like making things one, because that's how my brain works a lot of the time. I don't usually do back-to-back gaming hyperfixations. I usually do something else in between there, like a reading hyperfixation or I'm gonna go make things hyperfixation. There's usually something. You know, it's always something. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream today. I'm feeling pretty low energy, if that's not obvious. I just wanted to... Oh, I should not sell the barrier. I should equip the barrier, because I do not yet have one. Going to equip the barrier, not sell it. I tell myself, knowing I'm lying. Om nom nom dem anti-paralysis. Check for slots. Find nothing we care about and move on. Gonna drop the mono grinder in the storage here. And back out we go. To finish up this quest, because it's almost done anyway. Just gotta beat up a bunch of giant flying mosquitoes. I have to say, Uh, who in Phantasy Star 2? No, the Phantasy Star 1 is the first time we see the giant mosquitoes, actually. I just want to know who decided that giant mosquitoes needed to be in this universe. I just want to talk with a crowbar. I mean, it is probably my least favorite enemy type in any game ever, and it's in this, it's in Phantasy Star 1, it's in Phantasy Star 2, it's in the majority of the Phantasy Star games I've played. Some variation of giant mosquito, and like, it could have not been. They didn't have to do that, you know? That could have been a mistake they left behind in the first game. Like, that shit was optional. No one would have complained. No one would have been out here saying, where are the giant mosquitoes at? No one's saying that. I'm saying, why are they here? Why do I have to be subject to this? Anyway, I'm just gonna be lazy and hit the same button instead of the one I should be hitting. In other words, how I play games when I'm feeling tired. I saw that swing and I went, that doesn't kill me, does it? And I'll be honest, I was not sure. I was like, I equipped a barrier, I should be fine. Okay. She's out here all like, what happened to all the people? And it's like, you know what happened to all the people. Also, I cannot imagine how horrifying it must be for these people to get here and see the planet that they have fled to have these people die, because something that's easy to brush past because it's just kind of the setting, but these people are on the edge of extermination. Like, they're on the edge of dying out as a species, except for maybe the Cass, depending on what all they need to live. They might be okay. They might be able to survive just out in space. But like, everybody else almost certainly needs a planet, and their last planet just fell apart. And this planet is apparently now hostile to them, and not only are they on the edge of extinction, which is like already bad enough, but all of these people left behind a lot of people. And even if you got insanely lucky and you and all of your family are on Pioneer 2, like, you have no connections to anyone on Pioneer 1 or anyone who was left behind on the planet, you still watched the measurement of how many people are on this ship is in the thousands. Like, Pioneer 1 and Pioneer 2 together, they might still be extinct. Even after all of this, if they cannot get more Pioneer ships from their home planet before it's destroyed. Because they don't have enough people to reproduce. Like there's a certain number of people that if you or a certain number of alive specimens that if you fall below it, it is really hard for a species to genetically recover. And if they're anything like humans, that number is not that high. Nah. That number is it's not that low. It's sketchy. Genetic diversity is important, kids. Although, to be fair, part of the reason that number is the way it is for humans is because we're pretty sure humans almost got wiped out a few too many times. And that's why that number is so low for us. But like, it's wild out out here to be on this ship. Because the reality for everyone getting on this ship is that they are leaving a planet on which 99.9% of everybody that's on that planet is going to die there if it's a similar sized planet to, say, Earth. Like, if it's got at all a similar population. Even if it's got a population that is like only 1 billion people, which is not that many, then they're screwed. Like, they're just screwed in that case. Then that's rough, you know. That is rough. Okay, we have 4 quests of the regular variety left. Something I think I need to like expunge for myself to make streaming more fun is expunge the amount of viewers I have from my mind, you know? And I don't know how to like do that very easily, but I think it is important, because I think it does like affect how I feel about what I'm doing. And I wish it didn't, honestly. I think I would be happier if it didn't. I love their outfits. Anyway, I just came over here to say that. Hey, you, don't talk to that android. Know yourself, Hunter. Screw you. I have nothing to say to you. Yeah, I don't have anything to say to you either, buddy. Jerk. It's one of those things on the viewer count affecting me, where like hiding the viewer count from myself doesn't really make me feel better. And it's definitely one of those like I should get over it things. Cause like I think to myself that like I wouldn't care if I was in a situation where like it went from like obviously going from 3 to 4 viewers and then back down to 3, that one's a little painful. But like I kind of tell myself that I wouldn't care if it was from like 100 to 99, and I'm like, but would I not care? Because I think I would. You know, like I tell myself that I won't care more to protect myself than because I actually think it's true. You know, I'm like hyping myself up. I'm like, I definitely won't care, but like I deep down I think I would care, and that's like unfortunate because that's not something that you want to care about. Oh, I really thought that last one would go for it, and then it did not. Okay, that was far enough. Now we go this way. Wahoo. We have done it. I didn't get far enough away from that one for it to get up, so I really didn't think it was going to, and I was not paying attention to how long it had been since I shot it. I feel like right now I'm playing like painfully slow, but I can't tell if that's like me feeling scatterbrained or what. But I think one of the hardest things about streaming when there's no one, like when the chat is like dead empty, one of the hardest things is remembering that this isn't the only time someone could watch this content, you know? Because like fundamentally, even a small account like mine gets views on my VODs on Twitch. And even if only one of those views is a real person and all the rest are just bots who are viewing it for some reason. Even if that's true, and only one of them is a real person, there was a real person who may lose interest if I let the way that I'm talking flag because no one's watching me right now. And it's like, as much as I talk about not really caring if streaming is successful, which is true to an extent, like I'm not relying on it or expecting it to ever be a reliable source of income for me. If it ever becomes that's good, but like I will be completely happy if it ever hits the point of paying for my Final Fantasy XIV subscription. That would be, that's me overjoyed about my success right there. Like that's the level of success that I'm overjoyed about. I'm really not looking for anything higher than that. So like, got it. Heck yeah. Got him. Oh. Well, that almost worked out. I just was bad at turning around. Which I didn't know was something I could be bad at, but I have fooled everyone. I think I'm just gonna stop looking at how many viewers I have in the moment. Just completely ignore it. I'll just pay attention to chat. I'm just gonna break myself of the habit of having it visible anywhere on the screen, so that way it can't affect me. I'm just here. I'm just chatting, talking with all the people about whatever. Wahoo! Easy game, easy life. Okay, didn't go far enough. There we go. Easy game, easy life. But like, what I was saying is like, as much as I am certainly not relying on streaming doing well, nor do I like there's, just because I don't think it will do well, or because I'm not relying on it doing well, doesn't mean I don't want it to, you know? Like, there's still definitely a part of me that's like, I would really like to do well in streaming. Like, I think I would really enjoy if enough people cared to come watch my content, that it was not an insignificant number. Like, I don't think I'd be happy to actually be famous. I think I would take that as a financial blessing and probably not be happy with any of the ramifications of it. You know, I'd be like, well, at least I made money. You know, it'd be very, very much a, well, that went better than I wanted it to, actually. But like, to be on the level where content creation, oh, I triggered too many of them at once. Be on the level where content creation could realistically pay your bills is like well below the level of being famous, you know what I mean? It's that's more like the level of like having a decent sized community who listens to you. Like, you can conceivably pay all of your bills and only like 500,000 people online know who you are, which, even if they are all, like, if you live in America and even if all of those people are also American, that's still like less than a 20th of the country knows who you are, much less knows who you are well enough to recognize you on the street. So like, you might be recognized at a con or something, but like, you're probably not getting recognized at the grocery store unless you're like wildly unlucky on that front. And that's like a comfortable living at that point. Like if you're at the point where 500,000 people online know who you are and care about watching your content with any regularity, you're making money at that point, at least enough to support yourself, and probably enough to hire some people. I would love to have an editor. I would stream so much more if I had people to do the things I don't want to do. That would help so much. Not necessarily editing, although sometimes editing. Because I actually, for the record, I do like editing videos myself. I just don't have the motivation to do it with any regularity. But I like edited content. Edited content is vastly what I prefer as a viewer. So like that would be me making the kind of content I want to watch. Which is always a good thing. Like making the kind of content you want to watch is always nice. Aha, level up. I really thought that would be enough for that one on the left. Okay, rough. Didn't have enough accuracy. Story of a force's life, am I right? That's why techniques don't use accuracy, because forces have none. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, in the near future, I will absolutely be playing some Astrobot. I'm super excited about it. I feel like my energy is just really low today, so this stream may be pretty short. Just because my energy is like in the dumpster. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. I like how they're like 2 slots less than double the price of a 0 slot one, and I'm over here like that is not the amount that I should be getting extra for something having 2 slots. I should be getting a lot more than that, thank you. Like, so much more than that. Off we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Gonna grab some boxes and knock off some sockses. And then be very tired all of a sudden. I don't know what that's about. Like, my body is just done. Wait, there was a thing here. How'd I miss the switch? I feel silly. Like, don't know how I missed that one. Maybe I should stop streaming and go, like, sleep or something. I don't think I'm that sleep deprived, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Evidence would suggest that I am perhaps incorrect. Oh, I didn't think about that. Feed him that tri-fluid. Then feed him that anti-paralysis. Yeah, I'm feeling super tired all of a sudden, so that's gonna be it for today's stream. I'm just gonna finish the quest and go to sleep. I don't know why I'm so exhausted. But, you know, I kind of need to be going to sleep a bit earlier anyway for the sake of all the other things I need to do. So, like, it's good. I'm just confused. Anyway, so yeah, that's all for today, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!